Trying to get out of the line of that music in there because they're recording in there. So we're listening, we're watching. Right after Saturday, today's September 13th. Not the that. So let's see. I haven't gotten any word. I haven't gone online to check to see what has happened. Hope we can hear from someone on the team today during the stream. We're going on live with those whomever come on, within about 15 minutes. So, until then, we're just covering some, little notes, monetary notes. And we learned, I think it was last Saturday, at Balm of Gilead. Let me stop talking. Okay, we'll talk later. Searching for a new direction. No clue, something to find. Looking for a I'm up with that. Wow! Thank you. Things have a way of occurring when it's time. All right. Beautiful pieces of music here. Trying to adjust these different little camera phones here. Yeah, I'm interested. Well, we were young, we used to run out in the sun. We would run through life.
All right. All right. Great. Can you get me out of here? So right now, I miss you. I need a place to go. Oh, in town, in town. Around, around. I need a place to go. Oh, in town, in town. Can you get me out of here? Stay right now. I miss you. I need a place to go. Oh, in town, in town. Around, around. Can you get me out of here? So right now, I miss you. I need a place to go. Oh, in town.
All right. What's happening? You turn the music down. Not all. Let me turn the music down. Not all. Let me turn it down. Hey, where you at, Shane?
Hey, Elder Crystal.
Shane. Hey. You know, I have
All
to
right.
remember that movie. Let me
What, the
check
old
this out.
Western?
There was an old Western movie. Was there a Shane in the old Western movie?
There was a Shane in the old Western movie, and the little kid would tell the cowboy, "Don't leave, Shane."
Oh, wait, we got a few people want to get in. Let's see what we can do
You
about
know, I'm
that.
barely catching your volume.
You can't catch my volume. Let's see what I can do. What turns it up? How about that?
It's a little better.
A little better?
A little better.
Okay. All right. Well, we are here, as we said, we're gathered here today.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
let's see, wait, hold up, let's see. We want to talk about what we just experienced. Did we not just experience a week? You know, I want to
Yeah.
say a weekend, but we've experienced a lot high powered, high energy stuff. And we want to talk about that because we're getting ready to go, as you know, to the next level.
Right.
Yes, but you know about the next level. Okay, can you hear me now? How about
Yeah.
now?
It's still a little echoey, but
A little
I'm hearing
echoey.
you. I got it
It's,
turned up.
it's echoey. Let's see. Let's see what we can do about it while we got the broadcast man on the line. See what we can do about this broadcast. What about, let me see, let me take that out. What about now? Okay, wait, hold on. I don't know what I'm doing. Am I turning it up or down? I think I'm turning it down. I don't know what I'm doing. Can you hear? Is it louder? It's not getting louder.
Louder, louder, louder. Oh, there's louder. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's getting better. Yeah.
Better?
Mhm.
Okay, so we're better. Uh-oh. It's a hot mic over here.
Yes.
Okay, so today is Saturday, September the 13th. And we, as I said, just experienced a very impactful week of men. It was very strong in men and in women. I must say, those women in New York and Manhattan, they came through at the Manhattan Church. So tell me, describe to me what you just experienced within the last 7 days of being involved with our planning and to the implementation of happening on 9/11 on Thursday. Tell me, what was your take on it?
Well, it was a glorious day and event. You know, it was great to see so many powerful voices and leaders to combine forces and to collaborate and to plan and execute leading up to that day. On that day, it was an amazing convening, an all day event that was literally packed with value, with information, with love, with unity. It was an all day convening that helped to provide a place and space for the community to connect and to regroup and refocus on the things that matter. So that way, together, we can all continue moving directionally to that place that we know we're headed and going. I was very fortunate to be able to present some of our value propositions. And again, it's all for that same purpose of being able to lift up our people and continue doing our job that God called us to do, to continue leading the charge and moving from one place to the next, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. So that's my take on it, Elder Crystal.
That's awesome. And, I am totally in agreement with you in that I took some of those same things away and from the eye of the producer, the moderator and organizer, you're seeing the whole picture and you're trying to grasp it all so you can, handle it in the manner in which needs to be handled. So, being this our first one, within a matter of weeks of planning and just, how this started out was just women knowing how to do what a woman would do, not so much in a crisis, but just at any time, knowing a circumstance and a situation has arisen. What do we do to handle it? What is the solving of this scenario situation? What's the answer? So that brought Catherine Duncan Reed and I, the ambassador of ADLC. We live here in the same city of Los Angeles, so we're able to communicate on a lot of things that really affect our communities, our families, our plans, our visions, all the projects that we are part of. So when the opportunity came up to do the STEM Expo, which happened today in New Jersey at the MetLife Stadium, we were all excited. And things got a little, maybe, as they say, the cart before the horse, turned around, whatever, when it dealt with the finances that it took to actually make that whole project go within the stadium. You have to have various stadium rules and regulations that you must carry yourself through. We weren't financially prepared for that. So, even though the power of our network, I found that there was not the strength in actually mobilizing
the financial need necessary, just like that. Among ourselves, I know there's millions and billions connected, partnered, knowing of, So we didn't have the call to action. Hey, I know this just came, but we have some sources here that we know are, connected, and let's make these calls. We've been developing relationships. See, when it comes to money exchanging quickly, it's within the heart realm. How are they feeling about this appeal, this request for my money? How am I feeling about this? You need my money when? How much now? What? So the relationship. Who are you asking me for my money? You understand? What value is there in me to give you my money? So when we are coming into these type of situations, we need someone that's a financial person, administrator, but also a visionary, and a quick thinker, and one that is able to what they call impromptu pull it together. And that's where I look to my ministers, my pastors, the bishops, the leaders of the flock, because they come into their congregation at any given time and there's a situation and they have to be quick to feel it. They're getting that call in the midnight, oh, God, oh, and they have to be able to handle it. They have to have things in order. So, saying all that, rules and regulations, policies and procedures, places, categories, positionings, descriptions, all the areas, the channels that we belong in to orchestrate this whole venture. So the sections, the bass, the altos, the tenors, the sopranos, the baritones, all of the different voices in their places, making their sounds at their appointed time for this orchestrated matter here. So catch it from all the visions I'm giving, because this is the importance of having a director, a leader that is a visionary that can see with a quickness, not only what is present, but what's missing. And so this is one of the gifts that is carried within our team. And we want to utilize, that gift and the other gifts that are present. So with that saying, we are asking everybody under the sound of our voices at this time to really take the time out to partner with us. And you said, who is us? United States. What? Yeah, I will say $1,000,000march.us is the platform that I represent. That was created in some years, providing all the information. Oops. That we are as a collaborative, and some of the partners and services that they represent are on that website, $1,000,000march.us. And that was built by a young lady in Atlanta. And funny thing about it, it's about 13 pages and I don't know how many links, but I think it's a very informative website. And that was the intent, to make it a network directory type of a site. And it was built, I think, almost 3.5 years now, close to 3.5 years. So the whole goal now is to structure our partnerships where they are centrally located and can be accessed. For me, what I built, Family Love Outreach Workshop, Flow City, Family Love Festival, $1,000,000 March kind of sums it all up. Family Love Festival is like the foundation. $1,000,000 March is the engine to round up everybody and get what it says, the $1,000,000 March. So I'm saying that to say this: your importance in getting your needs met, and everybody's importance in getting their needs met, is very important. So we want to really place, as you said, the space and the place to locate all of that, So I like what you built with the ADLC, where you had the sessions, the next level, the earn, learn. I like that. And I want us to continue building on that, where
it takes us from here all the way into March, where the original $1 Million March began. It goes March 1st to March 31st with a physical march on the 31st. And we give our offerings, our monies, our donations, we give like we do in church. We do that march, the choir marches for when they march in and do, marching in, the choirs and the processions and the ushers, that's what it was, the ushers, the deacons, when they're doing the offering, it's a systematic march. We're going to cut here and do this and do that. And I'm looking through, they got their signs and signals. I love that. Discipline, ROTC stuff, you know what I'm saying, marching. So what I'm asking for us to get that in mind when we come up to the real next $1 Million March, which is scheduled for March of 2026. And for all of us all around the world to participate, you have to continue with us as you are now, because this is a growing, this is a building, this is a development and process. And when you see some of the logos, you'll see the bus, you'll see the bridge, you'll see, what else is there? You'll see, the word rap. It has R period, A period, P period. So they think, oh, y'all can do some rap. Yeah, we do a little rap, but not your thoughts of rap. This is the Reviving Arts Project. We have to revive. We talk of revival, but we can't revive without the arts, the music. So I'm going to stop talking right there. Brother Shane, know that our next presentations, I want to say will be monetarily accompanied, because we've already proven and tested who we are. So we are putting a charge. We're charging for our time and our expertise and what we're bringing. So our next program, we will be discussing the dates and times and the relationship, where it is, what city, what state. So I would like to just kind of hear from you. You can sum it up. I kind of rattle along, but go ahead and sum up what you've heard so far, please.
Well, I would say that you are spot on with what you said, and from the technology and fully integrated perspective, I want to say that's, a strong part of what we do with our full stack of technology in our database system. What we do is we operationalize and actualize that concept of pulling everything and everybody together to work ecosystemically, and for people maybe who are on the outside to see how everything is fashioned and functional inside. The call to action that we had at the 9/11 ADLC conference was in and around our Learn and Earn Equity program, which is an equity compensation model that has been developed, inspired by the goal of closing the wealth gap and using systemic liberation tools and ecosystems to help combat against, hedge against, and eventually obliterate systemic oppression. So, with that being said, if we have the technical infrastructure and we have the equity incentives, those are two very strong points to operationalize and actualize the concept, the theory, and the goal of what we're saying, to really rally up, really build up the groundswell before these monumental events, and to be explosive during those events, and then continue the momentum afterwards by capturing everybody, giving them the incentive, tracking everything that we and they are doing leading up to the event to drive awareness, tracking all of that, tracking what we've done at the event, and using all of that data to continue pushing our narrative and our focus and what we're doing forward. So that's my closing statements, and just another big thanks to Elder Crystal Davis, everybody from the ADLC, all of the other leadership who's involved and who has dedicated their life in service, serving the Lord, serving their family, serving our community, serving this continent, all the way over and back to Africa. Thank you.
So you said serving, and what I heard, serving the Lord. Is that what you said?
Amen.
I thought that's what you said because that song came to my mind. Serving Lord is gonna pay off after a while. Serving Lord is gonna pay off after a while. Struggle through the night, wanting to wind up, walking in the light, yeah, serving the Lord, He's gonna pay off after a while. After a while.
Oh, after a while.
I hear you. Come on, Shane. Go ahead. Come on. Yeah, he got quiet on the scene. He said, after a while. So yes, we have talent. I would say talent trees, talented trees, talent trees, talent trees.
Yes, Elder Crystal. Yes, yes. No, I just ad lib around you a little bit. That's all.
What?
I said yes, Lady Crystal. I just ad lib around you a little bit. That's all.
Well, this is the talent that we need to flourish in our visions, because that's what's given to us to prosper, our gifts and our talents. And that's what time it is now. We have served the purpose of the expos, the STEM Expo, the Career Expo, the 9/11 Memorial. We have served the purpose of the Flow City Project, Family Love Outreach Workshop, people coming together. And for us to have even connected on Friday, yesterday, the day after Thursday, 9/11, to have connected with the Virginia Department of Correction in the Youth Authority program that they have, youth offenders. They are accepting and receiving our literature, our curricula, our workshop teachings on mentorship, mental health, how to prosper in your business. So this is what has been given to us. I've been saying gifted. That's our gift. We now have over 15, 18-year-olds, young men that are set aside waiting for us to bring them this here and every other good cheer we have for them. They need resources, resources, and resources. I will be finding out the details of the resources, meaning do they need computers? Do they need cell phones? What, in that capacity, technology wise or electronic wise, what do they need? Do they need screens? Because they were talking about a monitor and a projector, and they're trying to get it all together. So this is the first. We are the first coming in. My meeting with them on yesterday, Friday, was just awesome. I was so excited. We had about an hour with the boys, and they all introduced themselves. And I was kind of concerned. I'm like, well, generally you're working with youth, they're not on the camera. So, but these are 18, so I guess they're of age. So they had them all on the camera. Their 4-year program. So I said, we have 15 millionaires that will be ending their term in that 4-year project, millionaires. So they're in waiting and learning how you want to put that, but that's what I received that. And guess what I was able to do to secure that? I mean, I don't know how this reads out because, the mirror and the image and stuff. But this is the book that I put together. It's a workbook, and it's half. It's one half. It's the first half. So I was able to email it to the director there, and they checked it out, and they okayed it. So they made copies for each of those young men. I was like, oh, I got my first $1 million students. This is
Yeah.
so awesome. Do you understand? I mean, I'm sitting here like, and I had to really tell myself, do you know you just got 15 millionaire students that you're getting ready to train, and they are coming, they are attentively, they're waiting, so they've got it. So they are now looking at this. And when we get together next week, they will be giving me, and I also sent the registration form, gives them a whole list of things that they're interested in. Please check services you are interested in receiving and or participating in. Film and theater arts, family workshops, veteran outreach, youth Fridays, business and finance, food, culinary arts, ground transportation, private security, photography, sales and marketing, fashion design, STEM to STREAM projects, music production, creative writing. Are you interested in, like you were talking about tournaments? I went because you said don't talk about leagues. No, don't talk about tournaments. Do leagues. So I have to add, I didn't add it here because I had tournaments. That's what I had to say. Please check here for interested tournaments: basketball, bowling, chess, football, softball, soccer, golf, video games. So now, based on what you're saying, Dr. Shane, I am going to put in here a league, interested in joining a sports league. And I'm going to say co-ed, teach them how to work together and play together, if you will, because you have to play a certain way. To me, I used to like to play basketball more with the boys than I did with the girls, because it just was different, I guess, because I'm a girl, so I like that energy of the boy being all up on me. I don't want no girl in my face. So I wasn't a hustler on the court. I took my time, but the point of what I'm trying to say, we want co-ed sports, and I want a co-ed sports league. And I want you all of my sports coaches and wrestlers and all of y'all to get it together for me, because this is what we need: the sports camps, sports and STEM camps. That's where the STEM camps really come in for me. When I see sports in the action, when I see painting and clay going on and sewing and cooking, then I see STEM, STEAM, STREAM, as we know what all these acronyms are. So I see the whole thing, and that's what we represent. We want to do that. So I know these things are old school. This is what you would call brick and mortar. But right now, it's what we have
And we want to inspire these young boys, young men, and look forward to getting this, in capacity where they are clocking them dollars. Now, go ahead. Talk to me, brother. Thank you for listening.
No, I appreciate, everything that you're saying and doing. And, just to reiterate a little bit on what you were talking about as far as having leagues, this adds on to the strategy that we've all discussed, which is us having and running our own operations, our own systems that we can have the right amount of power and control over and influence over. So to have a league is the highest expression of that measure of success. Because in a league, you get to control all the components. So everything that we say that we want and we need can be defined within a league. Just like we need to continue to create our own corporations, eventually our own product lines, manufacturing and distribution. Those are different market segments. But nevertheless, the more of these things that we harness the power of our own independence and control through, the better. Now, bigger things are going to be harder, they're going to be more challenging, and they're going to take more time for us to fully accomplish. But even the smaller things are ready and accessible for us to prove to ourselves and prove to everyone else that we can operate and function at this level and this capacity. So when it comes down to organizing tournaments of any kind, and we were kind of focused in on online gaming tournaments, but yeah, tournaments of any type of sport, we have the ability to form and run our own leagues. And again, when we say leagues, we're talking about the earliest entry point of a, quote, league, unquote, right? So that is an amateur league, because everybody's an amateur before they become a pro.
Absolutely.
In fact, there's another distinction, which is pro-amateur. So you could be a professional amateur.
I mean, I get paid to stay in this lane. I don't want to go too far out there with the real pros.
Well, yeah, but if there's a place and space in monetization, you could live in the pro-amateur place your whole career. And that's what we're saying. We recognize that as an opening, and if we fill the gap, we can have our own league. We can have our own pro amateurs that some of them convert up to becoming a real pro in different leagues, and others might remain pros in our amateur league. And there's a certain level of celebrity. There's a certain level of regional finals and championships, and I mean, just there's a way to do all of that for yourself and by yourself. So are you telling me you're versed, you're able, and you're ready to do that for us? See, Flow City is the educational tour that's going around the city. So that's the brand that we're pushing, the Flow City project, because it's here to revive the cities, the artists, the athletes, the families, the veterans, the whole nine has to come alive. It's the spiritual revival that we are doing through education and the arts, and sports. So I, myself, I'm an athlete, total amateur. I'm the baby. Don't touch me. Don't. I may be out suited up with the bicycle. I'm getting out there with the Mayweather camp. Uncle Steve, we're going.
So, but it's like, no, you cannot hit me. So just know to hit those pads or the balls or something, but do not come to hit me. Not even playing like we don't do that. Praise the Lord. So, but for the sport of it, for the fitness of it, for the fun of it, for the togetherness, sports things always bring family and friends. So when we have the league, we're going to have games probably every week. May have things going on more than once a week because of what it is we're doing. We're covering all the bases. So, praise the Lord.
Amen. And to answer your question, Elder Crystal, from my side of the fence, we are ready to execute every high-level strategy that we educate around and that we recommend. We already have the foresight and the practical steps of what it takes to go from a low end all the way to the highest end of what it is that we're talking about and recommending. And since we've already done the research, since we already have the technology and we have the experience with all of that, since we have the sociology tied into it, the economics of it, since we have all of these things built into these models that I'm referring to, that is what drove me to the next part of my research and my studies and my development in and around Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC, and compliant capital raising, and specifically the Jobs Act passed by President Obama and Biden in 2012. That act was written for us. They named women, minorities, and veterans because we've effectively been redlined out of the capital markets since 1933 and 34. Now we have access. Those laws showed us how can you structure yourself, how can you operate, and how can you get into that game of capital raising. Why is that important? We have all of the other intelligence, all of the other components modeled, and now we need capital. So in order to get real capital, even beyond philanthropy and donations and stuff, one of the biggest and grants, one of the biggest capital raising industry segments is SEC compliant capital raising for capital markets. So that's why we studied that, and that's why we positioned ourselves as a black-owned tech startup on the pathway from startup to the stock market, leveraging and utilizing these laws that were passed through the Jobs Act.
To answer the call. So now look, we are looking at fulfilling the days for the workshops. We have approximately 5 weeks left. So I need 5 workshops. You choose whether it's Tuesday or Thursday, Friday, or however many days you'd like to give, knowing the days. Wednesday is women, Thursday is men, Friday is youth. I have aligned every Friday so far with the Richmond youth out there for the financial literacy and the $1 Million March project. And so, the other days, we'll just be able to work along with your schedule to create the impactful, the workshop is really giving them the hands-on. That's what I want to say. Key things about in our presentations now. We are beyond the sell. We are on to the do. How do I use this? Like you were saying, okay, take out your cell phone, go to, this website, click here, go to the Google bar, do that, release that. If you need, go send them through some things that puts them in, because I know on Thursday, that was one of our things. We overwent in presentation and not enough in actually, what does it do? Let me see it. That's it. So this is where I know we are going to sharpen up for our next presentation, because it's going to be key. And I spoke with Bill Montgomery about the same thing. It's going to be very key. We need action. I said, I need a soccer game. I need somebody on the soccer field with the ball, kicking it, bouncing off their head, talking about the angles, and see how did I do that? I was there, give me that to entice me to want to know more about what you have. So I need action, because in me, I'm not a child, but I have a childlike spirit, and I know children want to touch, hear, see, feel, they want to move. So we got to be mindful, because that's a key thing that I saw on Thursday. Was overextended in presentation time. They loved everything we did, and they're older than we are, so they're very thankful that the youth have come in. That was the most important thing to them. The youth, what you talked about in systems, creating systems. I know Pastor Juanita really got on that. That was very exciting to her. And just really, getting these programs and things going for our youth. So we have the open door there. Like I said, we have their whole constituency in ministry and in the Federation of Family there. That means all over the world. If you have your passports, you can travel and still be within the same group of people to receive you. Go ahead.
I'm saying, so yeah, I completely agree with that. And to layer on top of that logic, you really have to know your audience as well. And I know that's part of our growth sequence and our ability to adjust and improve along the way. But you really got to know your audience, and of course, everyone prepared for the type of audience that we wanted to garner. So we wanted to have the elders. We also wanted to have some youth and some students. We had an expectation of a variety. And again, the type of audience that you're dealing with dictates your messaging and your method for delivery. So I completely understand about over-presentation, and I completely understand about action, because for me, I rather say less and get more people to follow the call to action, to scan the QR code.
Absolutely.
And actually do the action of what it is that we're talking about through the platform and through the app live while we're there.
Yeah.
But
like I said,
we have to have the type of audience that will listen and follow those directives.
No. You take every audience from the kindergarten to the seniors. And like you said, whenever, we got the seniors, we got you adjust because of what it is. So now what I'm looking for is activities right now, because we got 5 weeks. So I need activities in Compton, LA, Richmond, Texas, Houston and everything. We're getting ready to go there, Dallas. So now we want everybody to prepare for the Flow City Tour, because we're coming, and we do want a variety audience. We need the veterans. We want to show everybody what is there and capable for them. I also want to get everything in stations. So we want to create our stations that whenever we're anywhere, we always make that station situation. So people are sitting a certain way. You don't let just sit anywhere. You want to kind of get the room adjusted to where you want them to blend in and give you the questions, give you the answers and things. So that's some things that I'm learning as I am going through this process, being a part of many things, especially in the church. But seeing that Thursday, that was was that 10, 11, 12? That was a lot of hours. And you were there right on time, about 6:45, 7, I don't know. But you were there, I think, right at the time, because they hadn't started at 9 in New York yet. So we were at the beginning.
Yeah.
I commend you for that. You are very dedicated. You can be counted on. You're very accountable for. There's a young lady here in Vegas. I would definitely have to introduce you to her. I have to say her name. I think I've said it before. Miss Constance English.
Mhm.
And I'll make sure you get, we exchange information. I'll send you all a text, so make sure I do that. Because we talked last night, and she has some programs she wants to implement for the foster youth, and some things that I know. I'm like, you got to meet Shane. So I know you all are going to work very well together in implementing all these components, because we have to flow like a very well-oiled machine, that's fluently flowing and never unattended. Never unattended. So we want to get a crew of people. I don't know if you can get interns or get students that would like to help create some of these projects, make the models, and take on groups of youth or adults at a certain time that we're teaching a certain thing. So just kind of let your mind and look at your connections. I need everybody to look at their connections, because we need electricians, we need plumbers, we need doctors. And I know you mentioned about a neurologist. I met a neurologist in Las Vegas during a conference. So we have a need for all of their services. We just want to organize them, categorize them, and we need to do another leadership conference. We're going to do the Flow City leadership conference next time, meeting the family. So you will definitely have the aspects of the family present for this conference. So we're going to do that, the Flow City conference. We'll talk about that. Everything is a now. So it's a now. So I would like to know too, how do you get your compensation? How are you able to work this? Because I know within one of our programs, it's a $2,500. I want to say, what they call that? 25. What do you call it? Somebody says it's a $25 process fee or something, and then we do all this, we promote this. So the team, you pay the $2,500 and you get access to the whole marketing and production team. They go to work and put everything together for your process. So I, want to look at how we can get our packaging, so we can begin to offer that when people know, even from the youth. Everything is not free. The best things in life, they say, are free, but you can give that to the birds and bees. The guy, was it Barrett Strong or something? I need money. Ooh. So we're not serving money, we're serving man, meaning the man that God has given us to serve. We serve the people with the provisions God gives us. So we know he gives us the power to get the wealth so that we can establish the kingdom. So that's a knowledge there. That's a wisdom. That's a position that somebody belongs in. They can deal with bankers. They can deal with real estate developers. They can deal with millionaires and billionaires. That's a gift. You find that gift generally among some of our pastors and bishops. They are great with money. And I know Bishop Hines is our financial agent for this. And so he's teaching us a lot of things. So I'm going to be, getting his schedule to be coming on for these next 5 weeks, because we got to learn quickly how we must carry ourselves in this level that we're at now. So I don't know, what's your background? I know you're an entrepreneur. What's your background in finances and sales and really going? And so like if we talk to, 50 is my number, Flow 50. So if we talk to, is it possible to contact 50 bankers? Like have a connection with 50 bankers? Is that possible? What does that look like? Okay. So I guess he had to take a hiatus, take a break. So that's something I want to create, a bank of bankers. Meaning, I guess in every city, every state, there are bankers, there are banks, credit unions. And so I am saying we need to create a relationship, each of us, create a relationship with your community bank and bankers, so you can have the relative information on how to really grow your finances, okay, and become financially stable and sufficient in what you're doing. We're going to take a break and come back to you on our next show. But right now, I want to thank Dr. Shane Hyman. And you guys, so just want to thank you, Dr. Hyman, for your time. We're looking to develop that relationship with bankers starting this Tuesday. So I don't know if you know many bankers, but I'd like to create a group of 50 of them spread out in the different cities. We may have more than one in each city, but I would definitely want to create a pool of bankers that we can begin to present what we are as a network, what we're doing, and how we can, accompany their services. So what do you think about that, bankers?
Well, I missed a lot of what you said. I had to drop out and come back in. I lost connection. But I agree wholly with that, that we need to have more relationship with bankers, with funders, people from VCs, hedge funds. We need to have as many network relationships. So for me, I only have like one or two, and they're indirect. They're not as direct. But what I do have is the model that is structured and that speaks the language that they understand, so we can cut through all of the fluff and get straight to the matter. Our models are accelerated models, which means we can accomplish things faster in that financial space. So if anybody in the network has these relationships, I agree 100% with you, Elder Crystal. Let's start pulling together those contacts, organizing some meetings and strategy discussions, and, Lord's will, that could be the spark that creates traction and momentum of us capital raising and utilizing some of these laws that have been passed that, in my opinion and knowledge base, have been underutilized. But I'm going to get off of that soapbox.
Well, bottom line is we know it's right. We know you're correct. So the thing is, we're here, as you say, bridging to close all that, the gaps, everything. They've been bridged long enough. Now we're closing them. So Tuesday, so let's look at doing a little research to get, especially in the cities that we are currently communicating with people in business. Let's see what financial institutions are available and that serve the communities and others that are around. We can get that information and then invite them to an open house showing of our financial literacy campaign for underserved in America. So you can go with that, because with what you started building on that app, I want to work with that. I want to use that. I want to build that out to be what they will receive. Because everybody says you need to be everything in one place. You need all your songs and your videos. Everything needs to be in one place. So I like the high pages. I like those long, line of stuff. So yeah. So let's continue working on what you already built under the ADLC. That's fine. And then, or we can switch whatever is necessary. What it is. Flow City is a project, it's a program, and it goes under different nonprofits. So it goes under organizations as a line item. You understand what I'm saying? So,
I do. Yep.
Yeah. So it could be the host, the presenter, but our cost comes in as a line item. So we're included in the budget, and we can help create the budget, help get everything for the people. And this is where they need to know when we really come fully self-contained. So really all we need are facilities, spaces, places, locations to present. And if you have bodies of people that you would like to get together and learn some of this and receive some of this, you can definitely reach out to us, reach out to Dr. Shane. Shane, you want to give them whatever contact information you have available that you want to give out?
Yes, you can reach me at either one of my websites, nlgtinc.com, Next Level Global Technologies Inc., nlgtinc.com. Also, my email address is spelling of my first name, Shane, SHAIN, at nlgtinc.com.
Excellent, excellent. Do that, ladies and gentlemen, because he needs to see where you fit in this next level that we are attending to. This is our financial monetizing level. So where you fit is where your capabilities and expertise allots for you. So please contact Dr. Hyman. You can send bios, you can send your plan if you want to bring such and such to the table. We'll talk about how to do that, because we are a conglomerate of networks, and so we all represent the key, love, power of the universe flowing through our veins. So when we all come together, you'll know all of our connectivity. As we're still mobilizing, we hear the streets of Los Angeles, California. It sounds busy out there in LA, in the valley, everything, where you are in Riverside, every place.
You called it. You called it right the first time. I tried to hit that mute button. I couldn't hit it quick enough. Some guy zipped past me. I'm here in Los Angeles.
Oh,
in
great.
fact, right here on the 110, passing Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in the
Right,
Coliseum.
hood life.
Yeah, we hit.
That's awesome. I can't really. I'll be so happy to get back to Los Angeles. I have so many places I have to get back to and do this project. The revival is just waiting. So, but LA, I got to get there first, because I've been gone. I can't even recall how long. It feels like a year, but not that long. So, but I got to get there, do some things, and then we're going to head on out. So let's get our schedule. We got 5 weeks to get enough going to change the world. 5 weeks.
Yes.
Right? We got 5 weeks. And so I want to say this too, the Gentleman, Gentleman's Quarterly, GQ. We used to, look at that and see all the gorgeous guys and stuff. I know you were part of that GQ time frame too, being all on the cover and everything. So we want to bring that back. We want to bring back our gentleman status and our, the way the women are treated and everything. So the cotillion balls, the botillions, all of that, the pageants and stuff.
Yes.
We want to do that this year, like at the end of the year, probably in December, we'll have the Family Love Ball. And they get dressed up, the moms, the dads, sons, everybody's dressed up. We learn the dances. We learn all the stuff. We do all the little curtsy, the bow, and which fork and what spoon and salad. And now here, all the courses of the meals, we're going to do all of that. So everybody get ready now, because it's about 3 months out. So I want you to prepare something for the men. So we need some designers, maybe a clothing store, a couple of clothing stores that want to fashion suit some young brothers, and people want to donate some suits. It ain't toe up. I ain't doing no toe up stuff.
Right.
Got some great suits that these young brothers can get fitted in. Please, those are called in-kind donations and contributions. We'll receive those gladly. I'll be glad to see a young brother all suited and booted and give him a briefcase. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Nice shoes, shiny shoes, a briefcase, and a suit. He will never be the same.
No. Never.
As long as we keep up with him and keep him in that atmosphere, he'll grow into that, he or she. So I'm giving you that for your charge for the young men. We're going to identify with some clothing stores. They're going to become sponsors. These young men will be products. We'll bring them in. You know how you do the before, the after, and they're going to get this whole skill preparation. You know what I mean? This whole concept of what your life is getting ready to be now. We're going to take you from here to here. They're going to be like, oh, yes. So their talent, their mental abilities, their education, everything. It's a pageantry, a family. Everything has to come out. So you take that charge on because you're very handsome, and you know I've always told you that. I'll be like, oh my goodness, everybody be getting jealous and people be calling people out because I be calling out looking at the muscles of some of these brothers. I be like, oh, I know you be at the gym.
You call it like you see it. You call it like you see it. That's all.
I love it. Like, can I just touch that? One of the, our mayor there in Inglewood, James Butts, he came as a guest to one of our shows. We used to have Roscoe's Media Center there in LA on Pico. So one of the girls there had a show, and he was her guest. And I was manager, right? So I get to see everybody. I met all those people, Master P, all the people come to the studio. So here comes big old buff Mayor Butts. I was like, oh, hi, can we take a picture? We had this big RC. I'm putting myself and click. And then somebody, I'll take a picture. Oh, thank you. So they took it for me, and I'm like, and I had to do it. I said, can I touch you? He said, yeah. I said, I grabbed the muscles. So, that's exciting to me. I'm a woman. I love it. You understand? This is how we grew up. I admire bodybuilders. I admire groomed men. I love it. The smell of their cologne and look at the cufflinks and dude, it's like, come on here. You better go ahead. So that's my era, our time of grooming came up in the 60s. You didn't walk out your house. Your shoes were shined. You had pleats. Your things were creased. You know what I mean? They put them little pleats in his pants and stuff. Shirts. Remember they used to wear the khakis, them khaki suits, them biscuits. You know what I'm saying? These were the brothers that I saw, even though they were considered as the little bad boys. They dressed. They had a way. They button that shirt up. The Hispanics, they button up the two shirts. And the Hispanics was always tight. Always with the, pleat. Yeah, like those. You know what I mean? They're my cousins. You know what I'm saying? They're my cousins. They're my people. And we got to show our love and solidarity for one another through dressing, through music, through our cars. They like to get out there and hype them cars up. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Come on. What? We can't get drawn in, but you admire. They put work, money, time, energy into that. I remember the guys be polishing their cars on Saturday. They bought their car. They bought their first car at 18, and they had that whatever that clay stuff. They clay it all up, and then they take that thing and it be shining. And we watching, looking out the door. Look at him. Ooh, look at Ronnie. Ooh, he's so cute. Big old afros. Don't play with me. I didn't miss a beat. You understand? Now I'm 65. I ain't missing nothing.
That's right.
Anyway, this is real, and that's what I want people to enjoy. Let's go to the park and have our uniforms with our baseball team. You know what I mean? And have our little soccer team. You know what I mean? The adults and the children. Let's do that. I need it in 5 weeks, okay? Even if we start preparing now, and in the 5th week, we have the big sports expo. Woo! I like that. A big sports. We could do a STEM sports expo. Okay?
Yeah.
And then you got your esports and your physical sports. We'll have it all there. A day of sports and fitness. So that's what I'm working on. 5 weeks. So today is 9/13. So that's going to be around the end of October. Right before, the 31st. We'll be out there with our stuff, getting everybody ready, because we ain't celebrating devil's days and demons and stuff. We're worshiping the kingdom of the Most High Yah, and we have to build it so they'll see it and they'll come.
That's right.
Yeah, right. We're building the kingdom, and it's going to be the domes that we got from Pacific Domes. Do you know Pacific Domes?
I heard the name, but I can't call it.
Well, they built the dome that Ed Lance owns.
That's where I knew that from. Ed Lance. I know Ed Lance, yes.
So his dome, we were looking for a place to erected, but that takes money. You need big money, and we weren't able to quite get it. And I know they were looking for certain areas that they wanted it. So I met the dome maker, Pacific Domes. They're in Ashland, Oregon. So what we have put together is a plan to do a dome village type that Ted Hayes had back in the day. He had a dome village. And so we want to do that type of a living again. And we have the dome maker for about 150,000. We could probably have about 10 domes, 8 to 10 domes. You hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
They're about 11,000 per dome. And so then we can, do other things with it. So let's connect. I need to connect you with Asha, who's the mother, and she's the matriarch of Pacific Domes. We have a very beautiful relationship. So it's very awesome that all this is coming and you're here to spearhead it, because we're going to pass it off to you. All of us older women, we passing it off to you, baby. We ain't cougars, but we're panthers. Pumas.
I appreciate it because it takes for us to, like you say, close the loop with a top-down, bottom-up effect, whether that's economically, socially, age-wise, maturity, whatever it is. This is how we win, by combining our strong suits on both sides of the equation. So I appreciate you guys, or you ladies, rather, being able to entrust me to do my part, so to speak. So thank you.
Okay, I'm here. You there?
Yeah, I might have hit another low frequency zone, but I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there we
go. The other one froze out. Now you got me on 2 screens.
Contingency plan. That's good.
Oh, she finally went away. So, yeah, we do win. So thank you again for your talent, for your time, and your ability to do all that you've done. Let's see, do we have another one here? Okay, it's us. Yeah. And we do look forward to creating an actual event. We'll come with a date. We'll look at where 5 weeks takes us from today and see how we can orchestrate maybe that weekend of events like we did. We'll do the conference, all of that we just did. We can do it. And this time we'll be playing football and baseball and stuff. How about that? We'll be selling tickets for our games. How about that? Okay. So let's work on that. We've got 5 weeks, and I believe and I know we can make it happen. So with God, all things are possible to them that believe. And I definitely want to say we're in the Psalms. We're in the book of Psalm. And I think this is the third day, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. So we should be in Psalm 3 today. So read Psalm 3, what it says. I have to go back and find it. And we'll be able to read it. And you know what? I have to confess. I left my Bible at the Las Vegas airport and got on the plane and never got my Bible back.
Oh.
So I haven't had a Bible since then, and I think seemed like it was earlier this year. So now I've been without a Bible almost all year. So I need to get a Bible, but I really want a special one. I had a original African heritage, King James, but I think I want something else that goes a little older than that. I'd like to get an Ethiopian Bible. So we will leave that like that. So, but we will be reading Psalm 3 today. And just go along with us. You have Dr. Shane Hyman here.
Next Level Global Technologies Inc. NLGTINC.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so y'all get there, get registered for this next 5 week project we're getting ready to do. You have any questions or you want to get anything concerns from me, $1,000,000march.us. And we'll be continuing on as we go. But I'm thankful that we can put a price tag on it. Now, see, you don't always know the value of what you're working with. You kind of have to go along and do some free opportunities. It's not always free, but it's something they call it complimentary. You do complimentary events as you build, and now we can package it and put the price on because we do carry the marketing, the promotions. We do the whole thing from beginning to end. Like you said, we present from the beginning to the end. So definitely, by all means, get with us. Let us get your position in this tour. All right. Talk to you later, Dr. Shank. Say any closing remarks, please.
Just God bless you. God bless everyone. And I'm thankful to be amongst everyone. And bye for now.
Praise the Lord. I like that. Goodbye for now. Peace and blessings, love, light, and honor. Glory to the Most High, Yah. Glory.